Hi everyone, this is going to be part 2 of our coasters. So we are now out here at the garage and we're going to go ahead and get to cutting. So first thing I want to do, I was thinking about before we start cutting, is the depth of my designs. I think I want to change them. I think I'm going to change them to 0.03. Whoops. 0.03. I think that's going to be a little bit better. And we'll try this on this one, 0.03. Okay. So let's go ahead and line up my bit. As you can see, I've got, let me move this over here. We'll make it larger for you. Got my board on here, I've got the clamps on there. Don't forget, you got to put something down underneath because we're going to be cutting through, so you don't want your bit to hit your aluminum board here. So just have something to raise it up a little bit underneath of it. So I'm going to go ahead and move my bit down to the leftmost part of the material. Get it as close as I can here. And now I'm going to have to slow down the interval because I'm going to need to move it. Let's see, a little more here. Bring the bit down so I can see how close I am. No, needs to come back. That's pretty good there. And it's actually, I can go a little bit more this way. Pretty good there. And now, as before, we're going to set the depth, which I like to get a little sticky note. And we're going to lower this bit down. Oh, there we go. Just grab it now. So that's her. That's going to be my 0 point. So I like to do that ahead of time just to make sure that I can get where I need to go. And we are ready to go. So what we'll do is we're going to go up to carve. And again, let's just double check everything. And there is something else too. I think I want to change my cut settings a little bit. I want to raise these up to 10. Do a couple little modifications. Make sure that the board is set 10, 3.5, 1/4 inch. Everything's good. I've got my 1/32 bit in. So when you're using 2 bits, this is the first thing that you can do. It's going to ask you which one we're doing, which you'll see right now. So let's go to carve. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way for now. And it's going to confirm our thickness. Yes, we've already got it already zeroed, so we don't need to move or jog it anymore. We have clamped down the material. And now remember, we had 2 bits. There's the roughing bit and then there's a detail bit. So in this case, we're going to choose the roughing pass first. And once we're done the roughing pass, we come back and do the exact same thing. And then we would just choose the detail pass, of course, after we change the bit and everything. So I'm going to click continue. Yes, I have my 1/32. And we are using a new position. When we do our detail bit, we're going to use last position. But since it's the first time, we're going to choose use new position. And then that's it. We should be ready to go. And I'm going to, you raise the bit, you turn the spindle on, you tell it it's on, and then you click carve. I will maximize the screen, and so you can see, and then immediately have my mouse up top, getting ready to stop it if I have to. So here we go. Spindle's on, carve. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up so you can see. And I'm ready here to stop it or speed it up or slow it down if I have to. I think I'm actually going to slow it down a little bit. could probably speed it back up a little bit, but let's see how she goes on. Alright, let's let that cut for a bit and we will be back. Alright, we are finished. I had a little bit of camera difficulties here. I'm going to just close this out and went ahead and clean that up. Now we got to get our detail bit on there. My fancy dancy little thing here. I'm actually going to raise my bit up a little bit, but I'm not going to move it left and right. Only want to raise it up a little bit. Get my other bit in here. Always want to try and at least push the bit up about 3/4 of the way through. That there. And so let's move this over. There, and that is not enough. So if you notice, if this happens to you, I don't have the bit down far enough here, so I'm actually going to have to lower the bit a little bit more because it's bottoming out. It's not down far enough. And technically, if I had to, I could lower the motor down, but I don't like doing that. Let's see if we can get that out of it. Little trick is what I kind of do is, I don't know how well you can see this. I'm going to zoom you in over here. One little trick I do is, if you see this gap right here, that gap should be greater than the gap between the bit and my wood. Because if it's not, then that means this is going to hit beforehand. So let's see where we're at now. That is pretty much dead on right there, actually. So again, I take my little sticky notes and I'm going to come up just a tad. Maybe a tad more. Goodness, maybe a little more. There you go. So that is going to be my 0 point. So now that I've changed the second bit, what I'm going to do is let me shrink this down, and we're going to go through. And as you can see, let me put this in. Oops, sorry, middle, left. So now what we're going to do is we're going to choose the same design, and when we go to carve this time, so. Well, because I have that there, as you can see, confirm thickness, material is secure. Oops. Now this time I'm going through the detail pass. Now this time I've already changed my bit that's going to be on here. When I click continue, you're going to see that it is confirm your bits, the detail, use a portion of the design. It's going to be that one. And we're going to click, normally I would do last position, but I am going to use my dead on right there. So let's do that and use new position. And we're going to raise the bit, turn the spindle on, start, and carve. Now what it's going to do is go through and do all the good detail work. So as you can see, I actually speed it up a little bit and give it at 15. Let it do its thing. Oops, let me maximize this for you. So you can see it's going through, and I'm going to clean her up. So as you notice, when I started my feed rate at 10, I can raise or lower, which is nice. So I got it back up to 15 now. We'll let that clean up, and I'm going to give it a little squirt with my dry loop here, just so just a little bit, and good to go. Alright, we now have a finished cut, and now we're going to go and cut these babies out. They came out pretty good. So let's change our bit to an 1/8 inch bit. And I definitely got to move my bit up to make some room in there. My little here, let's see. I'm going to go with this one here. And don't forget, we're cutting all the way through, so this one won't matter so much because it's only 1/4 inch. But if you're going to go through a thicker piece of wood, don't forget to leave enough room for your bit, so you don't want the knuckle here to hit the any of your clamps or anything. So, all right. So what we're going to do is lower this down, drag it here in the center, and I'm going to click on here. And so now basically I just want to double check everything. I got my 1/8 inch bit. My cut settings is 8. I'm actually going to change it to 10 because I want to. It's a little deeper. I'm actually going to lower that down a little bit to 2. And I got a tab here, those two over here, so we're good. Let me get this out here, out of the way. Like I was saying, I got 1/8 inch bit. Just double checking everything. It never hurts to double check all your stuff. You got plenty of room. Everything's good. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and zero this puppy in. Let's bring her down. I'm not going to change my left and right axis. That's really important. Whenever you change your bits or you do the bottom part here, which I call quote unquote layers, when you change your bits, you never change your X and Y axis. You want to leave that. You're only going to re-change your Z axis up and down because you don't want to change where it's at, because it already knows that it's going to cut the frame here. If it's not going to cut it here, you move your X and Y, you're going to cut it here, and you're not going to be square on. So it's really, really important that you do not change your X and Y axis. You can move it around, just make sure you put it exactly back. So let's see where I'm at here. It's pretty good. Again, you can get a sticky note. Oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and start carving this one. 1/4 inch. This one's really important to be ready if you have to stop it. An 1/8 inch straight, that is incorrect bit. So see, here we go. So as you can see, I've chosen the wrong bit. I have an 1/8 inch upcut. So nope, that's not even the right one, sorry. An 1/8 inch right here, upcut. So that's why it's really important that you double check everything going through. You know, this is how we learn, this is how we get it done right. So now I'm confirming the bit size, it's what I've got. I'm actually going to use new position because I have it right there, but I have not changed my X and Y, so that's okay. And now we are ready to go. Raise the bit. Actually, before I do, let me move this over here, and I'm going to make it bigger for you. Raise the bit. Spindle on, and carve. And I'm going to be ready up here to turn off if I have to, just in case something happens. Always be ready to. This is some tough wood. Woo. Alright, welcome back. We have finished the cut. After a couple minor difficulties, I had to recut it again, but we got her done. So, nice thing is it's how we learn. What I had to wind up doing is creating bigger tabs in the software, which I'll show you in a second, because they weren't big enough, strong enough, and they weren't strong enough to hold the wood, and it came apart. So, it's all a learning curve. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, and we will get her cleaned up. I will show you. And then all I'm going to do now is polyurethane. Put a little polyurethane thing on there if you can see it. And that's her. Pretty much. And I'm going to do the same thing with the bell. And that's how I do my coasters. These are some of the other ones that I did. Very similar way. This one's polyurethane, if you can tell the shininess as opposed to this one. But they're all pretty much done the same way. That is how I do them. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Jungle.